Alright, and we're back again. We are back for, I don't even know what part we're on now. This is the video where we're going to cut out the floor and get the transmission fitted. First, you're going to want to put this down there where it goes, where it's going to go. Give yourself some room there. Now I thought about mounting it like this, but that would put the motors sticking up into the inside. We want the wheels to end up exactly where they were. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to mount it the way it was. So, we'll want to get this pressed down onto there. We want to kind of trace out. If you cut it too big, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I can tell you my other one is far from perfect, but it gets the job done. And it's pretty simple. I just kind of trace that out and eyeball a line across there. You need to cut pretty much a rectangle out of the bottom of this. We'll put the safety glasses on, plug the Dremel back in, and cut away. So if you have a hard time cutting apart perfectly good brand new toys, this probably isn't the project for you. Just had to put that out there. And if you don't cut enough the first time, you can always cut more later. Okay, now that you've cut up a perfectly good toy, bust off some of the stuff, trim up some little things with the razor knife. Trim those down just for looks. And this side a little trimming too. And that's kind of an ugly cut. We'll trim that one up a little bit later with the Dremel also. We've got it good enough for now. Alright, we'll unplug the Dremel. Don't need the safety glasses. Transmission. So there's two little lumps on the inside of this. You want to leave those there. I cut them off on my other one. That was a mistake. So things never fit right again after that. And what you want to do is I use a step drill, which is a single drill bit. If I can find it. Should have been better prepared for this. A step drill is a single drill bit that can drill multiple size holes. And I'm screwing this whole video up looking for a step drill. That is here somewhere. There it is, right in front of me. Right, this is a step drill. It drills various different size holes. I use my screwdriver for it. Works really good. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to drill this out, but you want to be pushing down at the same time so that your axle shaft ends up in the same spot. And you want to go a little ways and check, because you can control the direction that the drill bit goes pretty easily just by pushing a little bit. Okay, so we'll check that one. Trim that crud out of it. We got the first one. Give it a little test fit. There's little nubs that stick out on the transmission housing. You want that to fit in that groove. Just like that. That snaps right in there. You want to do that to the other side also. Take that back out. And you can also watch it to make sure you're centered. This one I got a little bit off, but that's okay. It's just a plastic toy, so they don't have to be absolutely perfect. Not like I'm machining a part. They can be close enough. Put this down in here, and it just kind of snaps into place. So next, I only have one mounting point per side for the gearbox. It goes into place just like that. I hope everything I'm doing is in view for you guys. I haven't been paying that much attention to the viewfinder. You want to kind of eyeball that, get it roughly in the correct place. And drill a hole in it. And that lines up pretty good. Before I drill the other hole, I'm going to need a, what are these, 20 millimeter? Here, I'll measure it. You need a 25 millimeter 3M screw. You'll need two of those, one for each side. You will also need, I forgot to add in the first video, a spacer. I have found that, I can dig one out of here real quick. There's a spacer that comes with axial SCX10s that is perfect for this. It is the right size and everything. Well, I hope I have another one. Okay, it's this parts tree here. I believe this is the axial parts tree that comes with the link end balls. So you need two of these top ones. Almost lost it. They look like that. You need two of those. If you don't have two of those, you can use other things that will work also. But this is what I have that works for me. So we'll want to pull this screw out. It's okay if the transmission moves a little bit, because you can pull it back up after you get the screw into the spacer, which is being tricky. I need to turn the spacer around so that the flange side is, there we go. And then I run that into the gearbox. Wrong size hex. Need that one. And this will also hold the other end of the transmission housing together. Put that in there. We'll do the other side. Kind of get it eyeballed in there, figure out about where it needs to go. second one in there, and your second spacer. Now I may need to cut out a little more in front of the transmission housing because there's no motors in it right now. I will trim that out later when I get the motors for it. So that's how you mount the transmission. Really simple. It doesn't move around nearly at all. So next we will go to fitting these drive gears to the axle shafts, which they don't fit. They just spin on it. That gets a little tricky. What I did on my other one is I used a piece of styrene tube. I believe this is the size I used. Got some styrene tube. The inside fits real nicely. No, maybe I had to drill that out. I think I had to drill that out. Yeah. So what you have to do is you got to take this plastic tube and you got to sand it down so that it will fit inside this hole. And you got this pin that came with it. You want to make it so that it's smashed into the hole. If it's a loose fit, it will fall off. You can glue it, but it depends on the kind of plastic everything's made out of. I'm not sure on the plastic on this. I've tried gluing a few different things to these, but it hasn't stuck. So for this, you'll need to cut a small piece. Well, sand your tube down first so that it fits inside, and cut it and hit it in there with a hammer. And once you're done with that, you'll have to drill out the end of the plastic tube so that it fits over this, the output shafts, but that also has to be a snug fit, so you have to drill it small. So I'm going to go sand this down and cut my pieces, and I'll be right back. I did one side. Got it pushed in there. I'm not really sure how far in there it made it. Quarter inch, half inch, somewhere in there is plenty far enough. So next we'll need the tube that I sanded down. Can't really tell that I sanded it down, but I did. You need to push that as far into this plastic as you can get it. So what I do, I trim a piece off. Trim the piece off while it's stuck in there, and we'll do it on top of the magnet, or on top of this. Push it in there as far as you can. And it's starting to split the plastic, but that's okay. It's in there plenty far enough. And then we'll trim it off flush with that. Pretty easy. Now that we got both mounted, we got quite a mess started. There. Easy cleanup. So now we need to make this fit this. There's a pretty good size difference there. We need to figure out, is this drill bit going to be close? Yeah, this drill bit's pretty close. It's about the same size as the tube. So we'll be right back with the correct size drill bit to drill these out. Got the right size drill bit now. So we want to drill these out straight as you can get them. It's pretty easy since there's already a nice round hole in the tube. Drill those out. And then it's as simple as pushing them onto the shaft if they're the right size. Unless I drilled it wrong. Okay, I got them started. It's fairly difficult to push it on there. You might want to tap it on so you go a little at a time. You want to get it so that it's pretty close. You don't want it quite rubbing on there, but you want it close. And do the other side. It's not going fast enough for me. There. Push that side in. See, I got that crooked. How did I do that? Is the other side straight? The other side's pretty straight. I might be able to tip that a little bit and straighten it out. Push that on a little more. Yeah, that's straight enough. It's got a little wobble to it. But not enough that I'm going to worry about it. They both got a little wobble, but it's okay. So that is basically your frame. Next video, we got to trim a little bit more. We got to trim this front plate out. Do a little more trimming. And we'll be back for the next video. So please like, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.